What's up, peeps? Your boy Ricky Funes. Welcome to another episode of Tengoose Boxing Talks. Today we have a special guest, one of my good friends and top coach, amateur coach, boxing coach, pro coach, whatever you want to call him, Henry Ramirez. Welcome, Henry.
Thanks for having me, bro.
What's up, Henry? How you been, bro?
Good. Finally, we were able to make this happen, man. I know
Bro, you act brand new, bro. I just
Nah,
don't understand. I'm calling Henry. I go, Henry, hey, bro, I want to have you on my podcast. He go, oh yeah, sure, bro. I'll be there next week. Henry, please let me be on your come on my podcast. You act brand new, bro.
bro. Look,
Seriously,
this is the first time I really got a chance where I could get away because how am I gonna tell the guys at the gym? Oh, I'm gonna leave the gym because I gotta go do a podcast. It's like
bro. This comes first.
you're fucking crazy.
How's everything, Henry?
Good,
Well,
everything's good, bro. Everything's good.
like I always tell this to my guests. A lot of people. I mean, there's fans that know a lot of coaches,
Right,
and they see the fighters, like say Chris Arreola.
right,
But sometimes they're too focused on Chris Arreola, they don't know who the coach
right,
is.
right.
So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where you from? You're from San Bernardino, right?
It's funny. Ricky's always promoting Van Nuys, but why are we in Pacoima? The studio's in Pacoima.
Good, dude. Yeah, Henry, tell us a little bit about yourself, bro. Tell
So
us the fans can know who
yeah,
Henry
right. So
Ramirez
my
is, bro.
background. So I was born in Artesia, which is L.A. County, right?
Arte.
I was born in Artesia. I have a lot of family in the Norwalk, Santa Fe Springs area. That's where my mom and dad's side both lived. And then in the a couple years after I was born, my grandfather, my mom's dad, had a trucking business. They had a big him and his brother had a big trucking business where they would haul manure from the dairies to the mills. Back then, it was a very profitable business, and everybody moved out towards the Riverside area because there was a lot of dairies in Chino, Ontario back in the day. Now there's none. But anyways, so I was born in Artesia area, but Riverside's my home. It's where I was really raised.
So, how old were you when you decided to move to Riverside?
Not I decided, my family
Oh, your
decided.
family,
I
okay.
was probably 3 or 4
But
maybe.
that was empty back in the days,
Yeah,
huh,
yeah,
Henry?
yeah. Back
Now
in the
it's
day.
just crowded
Now
with.
it's like LA, bro.
Yeah, I
Over.
hear that everything's coming up and it's getting very expensive over there.
It's expensive. And back in the day, people used to say, "Oh, you live out in Riverside." Now it's like,
It's
damn, the
like,
IE is just, it's 3-4 million people, bro. It's
yeah.
it's
So
it's
you consider that still Inland Empire,
yeah,
correct?
it's considered the Inland Empire.
All right. So Henry, so you grew up in Riverside.
I grew up in Riverside. Sports was always a big thing to me, bro. Growing up, I was really big into sports. I used to run cross country.
Did you
Yeah,
really?
yeah, bro. Seventh and eighth grade, ran cross country. I boxed. I played baseball. Played high school football. I was just an athlete, bro.
Yeah.
I love sports. Sports has always been an outlet to me. I remember high school people be like, "What? You're gonna be a sports broadcaster? You're gonna." Everybody would tell me that
Because you
because
know your
I would
sports.
always follow sports,
Do
bro.
you still you consider yourself kind of like Steve Kim?
Yeah, bro. Like I literally, Ricky, at 5 years old, would get up and wait for the newspaper,
No
bro. I swear
way.
to God, I
Really?
would wait for the newspaper. And I don't know why. It was just, and as I got older, I used to go get
It
the
was just a
newspaper.
habit.
I ended up having a paper route at 12 or 13, bro. No lie. And my mom would drive me in an El Camino when I couldn't do it on the
Oh,
bike, and
really?
I'd just be throwing
Throwing
papers, bro.
really?
Yeah, as a kid,
That's pretty
it was
cool,
a pretty
man.
cool story. But sports has always been an outlet to me. Um, so it's kind of crazy how I ended up in the boxing business. I boxed for about 9 years at the Lincoln Boxing Gym in Riverside. It's called Lincoln Boxing Gym because it was on the campus of a continuation high school,
Okay.
right on the corner of 14th and Victoria. But it really had nothing to do with the school. That's just where the gym
Yeah.
was, So
And when you were boxing yourself, did you travel like you do with your fighters
nah,
now?
not like this.
Yeah.
Nah, not like this. Local shows, L.A. Golden Gloves, the U.S. districts.
Because I know
Lo-
you focus. Like you and I consider
mm,
myself a coach or a trainer or whatever.
mm,
You like Rudy Hernandez has
right,
this title for certain trainers,
right,
but like I am in the same profession as you are,
right.
and I know you invest so much time with these young
With
kids,
amateur
which
kids.
is, sometimes it's hard for me, Henry, and it's hard because I've done that in the past. I think
Hmm.
and it's so time consuming. Tell us about you with these young kids,
It,
especially your young kid pal that you and
pal.
I manage. You know,
So the unique thing though, Ricky, like going back to the pro stuff, I actually train and manage every single one of my guys. So
correct.
I tell people if I'm not on the phone making deals, nobody's fighting.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So now hitting on the amateurs, it is time consuming. It's an investment, bro. Time, financial, everything. Like for instance, I had a fight in New York, and then the week after I was in Albuquerque. But I
amateur or
had
pro.
amateur in Albuquerque. There was a big national tournament, but I couldn't be gone the whole week because I had pros that were getting ready. So I go for 3-4 days and then get back because. So I want everyone to know that though it's amateur, it's important to me. It's important to me to be
Yeah,
there. If a kid trains with us, I could easily send someone, even at a local amateur show. But
yeah,
if he trains and puts in the work, to me, it's important for me to be there for him.
correct.
You know what I mean? So it's a big investment. Now you hit on Pal. Pal's amateur, multi-time amateur champion. He's 17 years old. Kid has a bright future, a huge future in front of him. He's been with me since he was
Been
9 years old.
been with
Nine.
us. He's been with us.
And
Because I say he's been with us because every time you put him up, I mean, I'm part of it, man. You know, I see him on social media. I
it's funny.
go,
People ask me, bro. They'll be like, "Wait a minute, how did he get so big?" You know what I mean? Because
yeah, he's
over the
stretching
years,
out, bro.
yeah, yeah.
So you
So
think he has the potential to be
he look at Ricky. I've never used this label on anybody that I've ever worked with. He's got a chance to be special, bro.
really?
He's that good. He really is.
And he's Vietnamese or what is he?
Filipino.
Filipino.
He's Filipino. His little cousin, who we recently started training, is half Filipino, half Vietnamese. So
Really. So now went from there, Henry. How do you spend so much time? Like, how do you manage, bro? I mean, look,
it's very time consuming.
yeah,
It is. And like for instance, we just threw a show last week, our first pro show. I have a buddy and we went, partners on this, and bro, it was so time consuming. Like,
yeah, because I was trying to get you in last week. I
yeah,
go,
last week,
no,
and
I
I
can't.
said,
No,
Ricky,
I
I
can't.
couldn't.
I call you like 50 times in the day. I go, this guy's really acting
Bro,
brand
I'm
new.
not. I'm not lying to you. Nelson, you know Nelson,
Yeah.
and even my daughter.
He did he fight as well?
He fights Saturday.
Okay.
My Nelson goes, dude, this is the first time I've ever seen you like just stressed, like
Really?
fuck. And
Yeah.
I really was. And my daughter said the same thing when she heard me on the phone. Like, what do you mean he fucking? Because there was a guy who we think forged his eye exam, and his fight fell out literally 2 days before the fight. And I was fucking pissed, going back and forth with. And my daughter goes, "This is the first time I've ever seen you like stressed,"
Stress.
And it's a show. It's different than
Then what you
you're a
do?
fighter, one or two guys on a card. This was trying to take care of the whole card, 7, 8 fights. So it was a good experience. I knew it was gonna be a lot of work.
Yeah.
My partner though, he was gung ho. He didn't realize something, and I tried telling him, like fight week, it kind of hit him like,
Hard.
damn, this is a lot.
Yeah. Going back to the amateurs, Henry, have you ever invested so much time on a young kid that he grows up and says, "Hey, I can't work with you," or "I'm gonna have
Oh
somebody else train me"?
no, for the most part, guys that we've put time in, they've been loyal. You have guys who leave over the course of time, but
I'm talking about the amateurs that
yeah, yeah,
that you have
yeah. There's been a
invested.
couple kids, but
Yeah,
nothing.
it doesn't. It
Not
doesn't like in me. That's why I say Henry because I worked with a few amateurs in the past
right,
that you invest so much time and it's like
right,
because you have the parents ear,
right,
then you have friends telling the parents,
right.
and it's just
Well,
like
I'll be honest, Ricky. Most of the parents, most, not all, most of them are
yeah,
full of shit. They
correct.
they have no clue what they're talking about. And look, I'll give you an example. When a kid comes to our gym, I explain to the parent, look, before I start taking away time from him, and I'll be like, he's been here 9 years, he's been 7 years. Before I start taking time away from those kids, I want to see your kid here for 2 weeks. We'll give him a little instruction, but very minimal, bro. Very minimal.
Yeah,
But one thing I find myself having to do now is each time a new kid comes, whether they're new, starting out new, or coming from another gym, I'll say, hey, look, I don't want you to coach. Parents are not permitted to coach. I want you to be here to encourage if you want,
Yeah.
absolutely, but do not coach because the second you start trying to coach and give input, I'll stop
Yeah.
investing any time, any effort in the kid because what was the point of bringing them here?
Yeah.
You know,
You co-train him
the
yourself.
bro, the parents who we have a group of about 5 or 6 dads, bro. They just pull up in chairs like this at the gym, Ricky, and just
Just
chill.
chill.
Maybe they'll get a little closer to the ring and watch the sparring, of
Yeah.
course, but they don't say anything. They just watch, and it's also no secret that those kids are the most advanced in our gym.
Really
It's the kids that just the parents have complete trust. You know,
nice. When did you decide? Or when did you think that? Oh, I think I could be a coach because you did you fight? You said amateur, correct?
yeah. So I fought amateur for 9 years. And then I was kind of done. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I told my old trainer, Andy Suarez. Andy Suarez was a good old school, good trainer, bro. He was Josesito's original
Oh
trainer.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was Josesito's original trainer. Then I tell him, Andy, I'm done, man. I don't want to fight anymore. I'm done. I was working, living a regular life. I was
Yeah.
like 23. And he tells me in Spanish, Van, ayúdame. I'm like,
Okay.
fuck no, I don't want to do this, right? Come on, I need a helper. And he had a son that was a big time amateur, bro. Guy named Mark Suarez, mid 90s, late 90s, was badass. Fought on the U.S. team in Turkey,
Oh
Ireland,
wow. Really? Okay.
international. Big amateur career. When he turned pro, he ended up signing with Cameron Duncan. Anyway, so he's like, help me. So, all right, started helping him. And we're going to amateur, same thing I'm doing now,
Yeah.
amateur shows. But bro, I'd be there all day, weighing the kids in, trying to get a fight. Now, I send my assistant. He does all that. They'll
And you're
call
there for
me.
the
I show up when it's time to fight.
yeah.
But so as I started helping him, we had a couple of pros, and it was like all right, it was all right. It was good. That's really how I got my start. And then I think I started working with Chris in 2002, sometime late 2002, early 2003.
Was he your first pro fighter
He was
then?
my first pro fighter to myself. Yeah,
Really? Okay.
yeah. I was Andy's assistant, and then Andy knew Chris. He had a little history with them, and so I told Andy, "Oh, I'm going to be working with Chris. You could help me. Basically,
You could help me
you
now.
can help me now. And we were. I mean, we were working with each other for a few years. Then unfortunately, and I was helping him with Josesito
Yeah.
and other pro fighters we had. None of the guys were. Nobody was big yet.
Not
Nobody was
big yet.
big. Yeah, they were just and he died in '06. But by then, bro, we had gotten his son in position to fight for the IBF world
No
title. He
way.
was number one,
At what weight?
47.
Okay.
He was the number one to the IBF to Floyd Mayweather. But he
What?
wasn't a big name, so
Yeah.
Floyd vacated.
Oh,
And he ended up fighting Kermit Cintron like
I
10,
remember.
10 months after his dad died.
Hey,
And he lost. He didn't he left, when his dad died, he struggled, like anybody else would.
it
He
wasn't the same.
Yeah, it wasn't the same. And the guys that stuck with us, Josecito stayed with us. Chris was already us. And then we had Alex Viramontes, Alex Bogarin, who we'll talk about later on.
Oh, why you have to name? Fuck,
so
bro.
so and that kind of just pushed me to the front now, bro. I was like, damn, ready or not, here
Yeah,
here
yeah.
you are,
So then you
So
started working with Chris, and you started developing him, right? To
right,
where to
right,
where he was to where
right.
he became a contender, and
Yeah. I mean, Chris always had. He wasn't, he had more skill than people give him credit for, but his body appearance, the way he talked, didn't look
yeah,
like the most style. But look, Chris threw nice fluid combinations for a heavyweight. Um, really good at catching and shooting, especially off the left hook.
yeah.
Not a bad jab, good body work. I mean, tough as nails, bro. He ended up.
Do you,
He,
talking about with Chris, when you started developing him and starting getting big fights for him, were you managing
so
Chris as well, Chris?
so we get him. Check this out. We turn him pro in Laughlin, bro. His first two fights, I get Brad Goodman, Brad was, I think he was working with Top Rank. Obviously, he wasn't where he is now,
Yeah,
but he was working with Guilty Promotions. They were
Yeah.
a show at the Orleans, and he was just doing other stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And he calls me and goes, "Hey, I could put this heavyweight you have on at in Laughlin." I was like, "All right, fuck it." I told Chris, "Hey, got you a fight in Laughlin." He's like, "All right, cool." Turn him pro. He wins, and we put him on the next month. I remember Brad Goodman telling me, "Henry, I know you want this guy to do well, but he's probably not gonna get beyond a club level fighter." I
Damn.
swear to God, he'll tell you this day because he just said he looks out of shape, you know,
Yeah.
rugged, this and that. But I knew I knew we had time to work. You know, heavyweights take longer to develop. So then I was trying to get him on all these local shows, Ed Holmes, Engelbrecht. Nobody knew who the fuck I was, right?
Yeah.
So I kept bugging Alex Campanova at Thompson Boxing, who ended up, you know, becoming a great friend of mine.
Yeah.
You know, someone I worked with probably as much as anybody over the years. But at 2003, he had no clue who the fuck I am, bro. And back in the day, Thompson, they used to do their shows on Monday nights.
Mm-hmm.
They used to do their Doubletree shows on Monday night. Well, I'm bugging Alex, bugging him, bro. Like, hey, I want to put this heavyweight on. He's like, well, can he fight? I go, yeah, he can fight, you know. He's like, well, where you guys train at? Where I'm in Riverside, you know. So they had a fight fall out, bro, and he called me in about a week notice. Remember the night before the weigh-in, he goes, Henry, can this guy fight? And Chris was in shape, and I said, listen, when he fights for you, I'm never gonna have to bug you to put him on again. Sure enough, bro, Chris shined, bro. I think he
Really?
stopped the guy like in the second round. Boom, he fought 6 or 7 times in a row on Thompson shows, bro.
Oh
Yep.
wow.
Then that's where Big West had came and seen us. And then he had started talking to us
How
about,
did you link up with Big West?
so I don't even know, bro. Someone kind of put him on to Chris, like, hey, there's a guy you should check out. And we ended up meeting him at the Doubletree.
If you guys don't know who Big West was, Big West, he passed away.
Yeah, a couple years ago.
A few
Big
years
West
ago.
Crockett.
He used to work for Al Heyman.
Yeah, him and I were
Yeah, we're
longtime
tight.
friends, long
So
time
if you
business
see, he
partners.
was a big guy. He looked
Big
like
guy.
a Suge Knight in the
Yeah.
background.
I think him and Suge have some history too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So he introduced how you
So we ended up meeting with him at the Doubletree, and he's talking, oh yeah, you know, Chris need to clean up his technique, this, that. And I'm just like, you know, I see this huge guy in my head. I'm like, what the fuck do you know about boxing,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, and I don't think he knew much about the actual intricacies of the sport, but maybe the business side, right? So we get to talking, and the conversation broke off, bro, because we started hearing, oh, we want to bring a trainer in, this, that. So conversation ended.
Yeah.
We just kept going, doing our own thing. I ran into Big West about 6 months later at Pachanga, bro.
Uh-huh.
And because there was a couple other people who were trying to get involved, and he says, man, you know, you and I need to talk. Like, forget everybody else. Like, you and I. So I said, all right, here's my number. We exchanged numbers again. I told Chris, hey, remember that guy I ran into him at Pachanga? This time, nobody else. Me, him, and Chris, bro, met, boom, got a deal done. And
The rest
shit,
is
bro.
history.
Little did I know that, because we were like, who's this Al Heyman guy he's talking about?
Yeah.
Who's this Al Heyman guy he's talking about? And he was telling us about Duncan Dokawari. Remember that heavyweight? Giroff, Antonio Tarver, Jermaine Taylor. There's only a few. Al only had a few guys.
Yeah.
And
Vernon Forrest.
Vernon Forrest
Oh,
was his
Vernon Forrest was his first fighter.
Yeah. Then little by little, you know, we figure out, damn, we ended up in a good spot. This Al Heyman guy, pretty powerful
Yeah,
dude, man.
yeah.
So it ended up being great. Al's been great to Chris.
So how you guys
Al-
linked up with Dan Goosen?
So
Before Dan Goosen was one of the biggest promoters.
yeah, so Dan, later on down the line, Al started putting guys with Golden Boy, with Goose and
Luda.
some with the Bella. Well, he always was putting Chris and Paul Williams together on Dan's shows.
Yeah, I remember.
So, you know, that's how we really got.
Yeah, because I
linked up
remember
with
Chris
Dan.
fought on the undercard of Paul Williams. Paul
Yeah.
Williams, right?
I think we fought on the same card as Paul Williams like 9 or 10 times.
Yeah, because I remember I was there one time. We were in Paris.
Yeah.
It was cold. It was outside of
Saboba
Saboba.
Casino, bro.
Yeah.
Dump. The dump. Well, now now
We had the waves at a hotel. It was so ghetto, bro.
I remember, bro, the fight hotel. There was motel, and then there was a Hampton Inn.
Yes.
We stayed at the Hampton Inn, but I know
Yeah.
there was a
Wow,
motel.
we were in the ghetto ass. Like, what the? It was ghetto,
There was
bro.
no there wasn't many options around there.
Man.
Now that casino, bro, they moved about a mile away. Nice hotel, beautiful golf,
Yeah.
nice place. You know, like most of
Yeah.
those places, they expanded.
Now we're moving on to. Were you the one as well to build Josesito Lopez?
Huh?
Are you besides Suarez before he passed away?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
took over training
yeah.
Josesito Lopez, right?
Trained over, took over. Hosted good. I had been helping Andy with him since he was, probably, oh, man, maybe 13, 14. So I mean, I've known Josito since he was a little kid, and so Andy dies, and Josito he had by that time he was probably about 15 pro fights in.
Wow, really?
Yeah, bro. Because so going back to when I got Chris on the Thompson
Mm-hmm.
shows, they're like, man, I like this guy. Hey, you guys got anybody else? I'm like, matter of fact, we do. We have this guy, Josecito, local kid. Put him on. They fell in love with him. Chris didn't sign because we signed with Al
With,
Heyman because they weren't signing guys. Well, they had put 6 wins into Chris. And I think they decided like, hey, why are we putting guys on than letting them go sign somewhere? So they signed Josecito and Tim Bradley were the first fighters.
No way,
Thompson
really?
Boxing never signed, bro.
What?
Yep. Tim Bradley was developed at the Doubletree, bro. In
Wow.
Corona. Yeah.
Did you think he was gonna be something special?
We knew he was good. We knew he was good, bro. We knew he was good. Yeah. I remember him from the amateurs. He had a good amateur career.
Yeah.
But shit, he did great on a Hall of Fame career,
Yeah.
man. But bro, he started there at the Doubletree, at the Omega and Corona.
Wow.
And then I remember they took Bradley and Josecito to a WBC convention, bro. They were both kids. They were not even maybe 21, 22 years old. Not really well known. They took him to the WBC convention in Spain. Mr. Thompson paid. It just took
What?
them, let them experience it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let me ask you something. When Josecito, you were building him up. When did you tell us a little bit more about when you start building him up, you start making a name for himself when he fought
I'll tell you the fight, bro. So we had seen he had fought at the Doubletree, and Alex Camperone was developing him, right?
Yeah.
They're building. And Mr. Thompson, there's no secret, was loaded, bro. So though he wasn't a huge big promoter, he understood. Okay, we're gonna have to sign these guys, develop them, put wins into them, right? So what fight was it? I want to say probably the Mike Dallas fight, bro.
that was a
So
was that a pachanga?
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So the Mike Dallas fight, Mike Dallas is undefeated, like 16, 17 and 0. And I don't remember Josito's record at the time, but I know he had one loss. And I remember during the fight, I'd watched Mike Dallas fight once at Pachanga. And he was winning it out boxing the dude. But I noticed in the 4th round, the guy was starting to come on a little. He was starting to put a little pressure. And he won. Dallas won, but that always stuck in my mind. Like, damn. And there was a guy I also trained for a little while named Artemio Reyes, local guy from San Bernardino. So I remember that fight. I go, fuck, he beat Reyes. But I remember Reyes was putting a little pressure on him, getting into him in the last round when the fight ended in the 4th round. So when we took that fight, I remember telling Josecito, dude, you got to be physical with this guy from the beginning. He's really quick, really. Just be physical. If he clinches you, throw him down.
Yeah.
Well, check this out, bro. In the middle of the first clinch, bro, he threw him down. I don't know if he got hit with the elbow, but he got cut in the 1st round. So we're like, oh shit, right? So you're fighting an undefeated kid who's pretty good.
Yeah.
And it was a good back and forth fight, but little by little, bro, he started breaking him down. Mike Dallas complaining to the ref, and you could just see he was breaking him down. And he stopped him in the 7th. He stopped him in the 7th.
Really? And
a
then
good
that's
fight.
where he started.
Then I started saying, okay, man. Then he beat Marvin Cordova. He started beating guys who are that are tough. So like, okay, then we put him on Showbox. He lost on Showbox to Edgar Santana in a good back and forth fight. There's a funny story about this fight. Josecito used to fight with his contacts, right?
No way.
And I
really?
asked him, like, you fight with your contacts? He goes, yeah. I said, what happens if they come out? And he goes, oh, during the fight, one always comes out. I'm like, okay, what happens if
Both.
both can? He goes, never happened. Well,
It
that
happens
fight,
that night.
it happened that fight, bro. And it was a good back and forth fight. Josesito dropped him twice to the body
Uh-huh.
in the eighth, and we were kind of behind at the time. Then we kind of seized control. And then he said, as the guy started winging right hands, he really couldn't see him till they were basically
Damn.
landing on his face. We lost a split decision, bro.
Fuck.
Close fight, could have went either way.
Yeah.
That dude ended up getting arrested for like some federal drug trafficking or something.
No
Edgar
way,
Santana.
really?
Look him up. Yeah.
Wow. So what led up to have the opportunity to fight Canelo? Were you training him for that?
Yeah. So there's so much that went in behind the scenes, bro.
Tell
I'm
us.
gonna tell you all.
Yeah.
So Dan, I love Dan, man, but he kept trying to get Mike Dallas the rematch with Josesito.
Mm-hmm.
And twice he pitched it to I go, Dan, why every time we're getting offered a fight, it's fucking Mike Dallas? Josesito was like, dude, why do I need to fight him again? Like, I already beat him. I stopped him, broke him down. Dallas, obviously, like any fighter,
He wants a rematch.
wanted a rematch. You know, I can respect that. But I was getting a little upset with Dan because I go, Dan, how come every time there's a fight thrown, fucking Mike Dallas like shoved down the throat? I go, nah, someone else. So, you're going to chip out on this, bro. Josesito is going to fight Kendall Holt at
Oh.
Saboba on the Friday night fights, the night before Victor and Berto are having the rematch at Staples Center.
At Staples Center.
Yeah,
Wow,
right?
really?
So we're getting ready for Kendall Holt.
But the
and
fight
then-
never happened.
No, well, because we got the Victor fight. So fucking, we're going back and forth with Kendall Holt. And I remember calling Tom Brown and go, Tom, is this happening or not? He goes, oh, I've been working on it. Kendall Holt and his team didn't like that the fight was going to be outside in June, bro.
It's gonna be
I don't
hot.
blame them. Hot as fuck. That Saboba Casino before.
Yeah. Oh, it's hot over there.
So I guess Tom Brown told me he had to send his team like a weather report for that day in that city the last 10 years. You know what I mean? Because I go, we're both fighting outside in the elements, but bro, it probably would have been over 100 degrees, right? So we're kind of going back and forth with that fight. Then I see Victor, Andre touches dirty for steroids, right?
You know, kind of cut you
Yeah,
off real quick. 'Cause it's funny that you said that because I got hired by Berto.
I remember you telling me this, bro.
I got hired by Berto. Berto flew me out with Tony Morgan.
Right,
was
Morgan.
his
Yeah,
co-
your coach. Yeah.
Yeah, they flew me out to
Florida?
Winter Haven, Florida, and I was gonna be the assistant coach
Right.
or whatever
Yeah,
trainer.
Yeah.
So I was trying to, at that time I already
Right.
trying to do my own thing,
Right.
step away with Joe, and I get this opportunity by Berto,
Right.
and I'm in there in camp for like 3 weeks, and it was it was good.
Right.
I was trying to build my name,
Right.
and boom, he gets caught. Cause it was awesome because
Right.
we flew out back to LA. We're going to this big mansion,
Right.
and then we go to the press conference with Golden Boy and everything. And yes, the fight, Victor Ortiz, the rematch. I go yes. I go in my mind. I go okay, good. We're gonna beat him. And then boom, gets tested for steroids, and then you guys get the
So, but there were a couple of names in play for the fight, right? Kendall Holt was one of them. So at that point, Kendall Holt, former world champion, was a bigger name than Josesito,
Yeah.
right? So what do, bro? Tom calls me, makes me the offer. I said, nah, Tom, I didn't like the offer. So what do? I call Al. I said, Al, look, I really want this fight for Josesito. I know it's between a couple of names. And he goes, no, I know, Henry, you've been, because he knew Josesito a little bit because I had taken him to the fights with Chris. So
Yeah.
he got to meet Al. We were in Atlantic City. We're in
Yeah.
New York. So I told Al, man, I really want this opportunity for him, man. It's a big opportunity. And there's a reason why. So I go to Al, I said, Al, please get me this fight. And he goes, give me a day. He called me back, but don't worry, you guys are getting the fight. But there's a reason why, bro. I'm gonna tell you the story. So let me rewind before this. Mikey Garcia and Big G had moved out to Moreno Valley. They were training in our private gym.
Oh, okay.
So I used to ask Mr. Big G, like, hey, Senor Garcia, like, well, whatever happened with Victor? You know, you hear stuff. Oh, you know, we trained Victor, this and that, and he said that very talented, but you know, he questioned his heart sometimes, and he would tell me, "Oh, nunca sabes si viene un día that there's a fight for Josesito with him, take it. Someone with Josesito que muy valiente con huevos would do
Yeah.
good with them." Bro, that was in my head. I
That's
had
it.
that conversation with him 6 months before, and it was just a random conversation. But believe me, bro, it
You
was
was in
in
your
my
head
head.
already.
So when we got it, and I told Jose, dude, I kept telling him. I remember telling him the whole camp, if you win this fight, your life's gonna change. If you win this fight, your life's gonna change. If you, I just drilled it in his head.
Yeah.
Drilled it in his head. So we get the fight with Victor, and it's funny, bro, because we're walking in the ring and everybody's against us.
Of course.
But it was a whole different feeling when we were walking out, bro.
You
Like,
guys knew
yeah,
already.
yeah, you know, and I like Victor, man. I always thought Victor was a good fighter. I think after the fact, he never gave Josesito credit, saying lucky punch, just that. And I said, the honest truth is he was in a much more tougher fight than he was expecting,
Yeah,
bro.
of course.
Josesito was a 40-pounder, moving
Moving
up
up
to
to 47.
47, weighed 44, 43 and a half at the weigh-in. Remember, Victor was slated to fight Canelo. Berto falls out. James Kirkland was in it and ended up asking for more money. Paul Williams was the opponent.
And then he gets
And he gets
a motorcycle accident.
yeah, all these guys were next for Canelo. And so finally it's Victor. Finally they settle. It's Victor. He's gonna beat Josesito and go. Oh, that ends up.
That changed
Bro,
up.
that whoever got that fight was basically jinx. That fight was jinx. It's like so. I remember in the couple of literally after he beats Victor, we get a call from Al, and I literally signed him with Al the next week, bro.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
But the money when you guys fought Canelo wasn't the big as what it is
No,
now,
no,
huh?
it wasn't what it was. I mean, it was a big draw. But remember, bro, there was another big fight that night. That same night that Josesito fought Canelo was Sergio Martinez, what's your favorite fighter, Chavez Jr. One was at the MGM, one was at the Thomas and Mack.
Correct, yeah.
And on paper, obviously, that was the more competitive fight,
yeah.
right? I think this card was better top to bottom because I think Maidana fought Soto Carras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a
So,
great fight.
yeah. So, anyways, literally a week after he beats Victor, I remember we're on the phone with Al. Al called us three-way. And he's like, he offered us the Canelo fight. And I was like, Josesito wasn't in front of me. We're on three. And the first thing I remember asking Al, if we say no, what's next?
That's it.
That's me saying no, bro.
Yeah.
That's me saying no.
Yeah.
And I remember Campo Novo, because Campo Novo had promoted Josesito. He called me and goes, dude, 154. I go, Alex, I wasn't high on the fight, dude. But fucking
Big
this
money.
guy didn't want to say no, which I get it. He had never really made any real money. He made ESPN money.
What did he make for that fight, huh?
You got to understand, Ricky. I don't want to get into this. I'm gonna talk to you off air about it, but so this is the first time he got introduced to the business side. He had his purse, right, which he heard on the phone, because he's very private. I remember him telling me after before he fought Victor, he told me, "Hey, I want to keep what I make private." Basically, he didn't want anybody to know. So
Yeah.
So when we got the Canelo fight, every conversation I had with Al Heyman, he was on the phone, so he heard everything
you talk about.
Right, but the thing he didn't understand now is Dan and Thompson Boxing
It's different.
had invested years, bro.
They had to get their
Well,
cut.
now they're entitled to their cut.
Yeah.
People are like, wait, what do you mean they get their cut? Yeah, well, how do you think you got there?
Yeah.
So he got introduced to the business side a little bit. So
Damn,
yeah,
that's gotta be tough, huh?
yeah, but hey, I mean,
It's like winning the lottery or billion dollars. You have to pay this. Yeah.
so, and then obviously, the Canelo fight went as expected. Not that he didn't try. Fuck, he tried all he could.
Yeah.
Then he fought Maidana after that. Andre Berto, fucking Mike Arnudis. Yeah, he had some tough fights.
It was good.
Tough fights.
Why did you guys part ways? If you could talk about it.
I don't. Him and he came to me said he was leaving, and then I told him straight out. I go, Josesito, look, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like some guys just getting to this level and making good money is a success story.
Yeah.
And I told him straight out, I think you overachieved. I don't think he was a great fighter. No, he was a
It was a
tough
tough Rocky.
MFer,
That's why they call
rugged.
him the
Yeah, he
Rocky
wasn't
from
some
Rivers.
super talented guy, bro. And that's not a knock on him. He'll say things towards me, and this isn't a knock on him.
Yeah.
But when he was getting ready for Thurman, some of my other fighters were watching the preview, right? And he goes, "Damn, dude, this fucking guy." That's what they said. Came to me like, this fucking guy is almost like blaming you, like saying he was being held back a little bit, bro. Listen, I just, me, bro. If I got something to say, I'll say it to
That's it.
someone's face. I got no
Yeah.
problem. I'll always say this. He did great. He did great. He just wasn't an elite fighter. Good fighter. Good fighter. Because I heard he was saying, "Oh, I need an elite coach." Well, you weren't an elite fighter. Period. I don't care who works with you. Are you
No, it's
rugged?
reality.
And then I'm being honest, bro.
Yeah.
Rugged as hell, tough, ballsy, and squeezed everything he could out of his ability, bro. And has done well for himself. There's nothing wrong with saying that.
It's funny that you say it because a while back, some guy comes up to the gym
Mm-hmm.
and he sees me working pads with some guy. He goes, "Hey, man, I'm a pro fighter. I have so-and-so fights." He goes to me, I go, "Can you do mid work like Mayweather?" I go, "Can you fight like Mayweather?" And bro, he goes, "No." I go, "Bro, well, Mayweather does this, all this." I go, "That's all show." I
Yeah,
go, "Mayweather does that for show, and people want to do that." I go, "He doesn't do that in the
yeah,
fights.
yeah.
He doesn't."
That doesn't transfer to the fight.
Yeah, so it's funny that you said that because look, to be an elite fighter, Henry, you have to be special.
Yeah,
Just like you said
special.
about Pau, you see that.
Yeah,
And, when you have that eye for someone,
Mm-hmm.
it's like Chris. Chris was a rugged, tough fighter too.
Yep.
But like you say, there's elite.
Right.
To me, an elite fighter is considered Canelo.
Yeah, of course.
When he fought, I always tell this to people, when he fought Floyd, I think that day he got his graduate from junior high, high
Yep.
school, and then he went to college. He got his master's and PhD,
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
in one night.
And you know what I remember, Ricky? Because boxing, bro. Everybody, as soon as a fighter loses, oh, he needs a new trainer.
Yeah, that's the worst thing you
Yeah.
could do.
But look at. I mean, he stayed loyal to his people,
Yeah,
and look what he's done. He fucking and look, he did great, man. And Canelo's a fucking superstar.
and he's
a
still
rock.
loyal to his
They're loyal
trainer.
to his people, bro. That's awesome. He's loyal to his people.
Yeah,
I'm big on it. I'm big on it.
I'm big on loyalty. It's hard to find loyalty.
Yeah,
What I'm
of
trying to tell you,
course.
I work with so many fighters, and I had gotten fighters that already had
Right.
their trainers,
Right.
which a lot of them have believed in me, but I still haven't. I'm like you, Henry.
Right.
I'm trying to.
Still
No, you
working.
know what? It's not even trying to catch up to any trainer because I'm happy
Yeah.
for. Like I mean, my business, Henry. There's a lot of haters. You
Right.
know that.
Yeah.
Like when I see you accomplish something, bro, I'm happy.
No, I'm happy for it.
I don't knock nobody like you, or if I see like Robert Garcia. Robert is one of my good friends. You're one of my good friends because I'll
Right.
call you a minute or we talk, we chop it up, we. I send you messages on, hey, what's up with my fighter pal?
Right.
We
It's
BS.
fun, it's fun.
But when it comes to business, I admire that. You have succeed. Like I always tell people, Ricky, they call you trainer to the stars. Yeah, but that's my business. That's
Right,
how I make
yeah.
a living.
Right.
But I have not accomplished what you could accomplish
But-
yet, and that's my goal.
Right. No, of course. And so that goes back to like, you talked about Robert ended up training Josesito. People would ask me like, "Are you mad?" No, fighters. Look, you got to understand this business. Fighters come, they go.
Yeah.
Look, it's not like Robert was outside my gym. Hey,
Yeah.
come to my gym. Then you could be mad at someone. You know what I mean? But then I ended up training his nephew Pelos. Rest in peace for a little
Yeah.
while. I ended up training him for a little while. We had a fight, and then it fell apart. And then I think he decided to just leave boxing alone. Before he unfortunately passed.
Yes.
I remember calling Robert. I go, "Hey, man, your nephew hit me up, bro. He's at my gym. Like,
See, that's respect.
yeah, I go, hey, is everything cool? Like, he goes, oh, hey, bro, you know what? Work with them, and he's, so, but
That's what
Robert's cool. Robert,
that's what happened to me with Brandon Rios.
right,
Brandon Rios calls me, goes, "Hey, bro, I'm coming off retirement. I want to see if you want to work with me."
right,
Oh, fuck, hell yeah, it's an
right,
opportunity
right.
for me, right? So out of courtesy, like anything, anybody,
Of
I
course.
call Robert. Hey, Robert, ¿qué onda, Ricky?
Right,
Hey, Robert, Brandon hit me up and he asked me if I could work with him. I wanted to get your blessing or if it's
right.
a. He goes, Ricky, I prefer you working with him than
No,
anybody
it's
else.
dope,
It's
bro.
just respect.
Respect,
Because if
absolutely.
I don't acknowledge, I don't acknowledge him. That's to
Right,
me. That's because
right.
there's fighters that just go to another gym. They
You
don't
know,
acknowledge. They're pieces of shit.
yeah,
In my view, you know what I mean.
right,
There's no respect because like Pow.
right.
That's my. I mean, come on, Henry. You gotta tell people. Tell them, bro. That's my fighter. And the
Fucking
first thing
guy.
about it, you say this motherfucker's so thirsty, bro. Stop being thirsty.
Ricky's a thirsty fucker, man. But you know who else gives me shit? Danny Zamora. He'll be like, "Oh, our fighter."
Uh,
I go, "You're the Ricky Funes of Santa Fe Springs,
Danny
fucker."
Samora. Which was Danny Samora?
Danny, he trained Yanni Perez. He trained
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So the same thing.
yeah. He's involved with he was involved with Thompson Boxing La también. Good
So,
dude, good
so
dude.
now tell me, Henry, we spoke about
The whole
the whole thing. Now going back to Chris
Chris
Arreola.
Chris is
Chris is a big character, bro.
so I always Chris was the longest relationship I ever had, bro. Like married, fucking relationship.
Everything.
So as he started making his push a little bit, right? Chris making his push, bro. We get people from all over coming out.
Yeah.
Mexican heavyweight, rare, and it
Yeah.
was. We get signed with Al, start fighting on dance shows, a couple Golden Boy shows. But the fight that kind of brought him out, and I seen his interview. He talked about this. Bolo Wills, Damian Wills. He's from Hollywood. He's from L.A., but he was fighting in Hollywood, right? And
Denzel Washington was his manager, right?
and they're fighting like at the Henry Fonda Theater or something like that. So there's just a lot of back and forth. People, oh, Bolo gonna kick your ass.
Yeah.
Bolo this, Chris talking shit. So and they never sparred, but there was people who had sparred both, and I would ask, I don't know. I think Chris gonna win. I don't know. I think Bolo gonna win. People
Yeah.
were kind of split down the middle, and I thought it was cool.
Because
So
Bolo was up and coming fighter
he
as
was
well.
he was 21-0, 22-0, and they set this fight, and it's the opening bout on Mayweather Baltimore, right? First fight on the
I was
Bay.
there. I was there at the fight. It was in Mandalay Bay. Yeah.
Mandalay Bay. And we went to Big Bear, bro. We went to Big Bear. And I remember there was a guy who was involved with Bolo named Bob Edwards. He was a trainer out of like Pomona, right? And he knew Wes, and him and Big West made a bet. When we got to the Mandalay Bay, bro, on Tuesday for a Sunday fight, Bob Edwards seen Chris. He told Wes Crockett, bets off. He seen the shape he was in, bro. He weighed 229. He was in. It wasn't even the weight, bro. Just that he was in shape.
Yeah.
I mean, we were up in Big Bear for 5 weeks, but
I was being in Big Bear with Chris.
this is before, bro. I'm still working a regular job, so I was getting off work at 3:00, meeting my cut man at the old Lincoln Gym at 3:30.
Who was your coming?
Indian Willie.
Indian Willie.
We were up there at 5. Stayed up to 7:30 or 8. Go right back home. Him and Josesito would go to the cabin, and we repeated that for like 5 weeks straight, bro. 5 weeks straight.
What would you do for a living, Henry?
I was working in the construction business.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah, but like, not like I was working with like machinery, moving heavy machinery around, right?
Yeah,
like with the low bed
Yeah,
on it. So anyway, I talked to the guy I was working for at the time. I need to be off work every day at 3. We got a big fight, and they'd already seen a couple fights on Friday night fights. They're like, oh, whatever you need.
That's pretty cool, huh?
And then I liked it because they were
Flexible.
They're flexible with me. They were allowed me to do my thing, and I haven't worked a regular job in
Since
18 years, I think. so anyway, that fight, Chris weighed 229, and Bolo was about 250. Bolo was a big boy. He carried it well. It was not like he was out of shape. So anyways, fights, pretty competitive first round, both going at it. Second round, Chris hurts him, bro. Storms him. Boom, boom, combination. Not power, but just a lot of combinations. Wins a round, big. And then third round, kind of a recovery round. Fourth, Bolo gets going a little bit. They get going. Chris stops him in the 7th round, bro. Stopped him in the 7th round. I remember Chris and I almost tackled him in the ring, but we're excited, bro. First HBO fight,
Yeah.
and we go to the dressing room, and I go to Bolo's dressing room, bro. And I walk in, and I see Denzel just sitting on the chair. And I go, "Where's Bolo?" He goes, "Oh, he's back there. He was just in one of the restroom stalls,
Upset.
upset,
Sad.
And Ricky, we've all
Yeah.
seen the toughest dudes in tears. And I went
Yeah.
up to him and said, "Hey, bro, keep your head up. Good fight. You got nothing to be two good fighters. One was just a little better
Yeah.
tonight. That's it. I wished him well.
I never heard of him after that.
Yeah, he fought a couple times, bro. We ended up calling him for sparring. Ironically, bro, we needed sparring. I go, man, I wonder how he would feel, right?
Yeah.
And ended up being just we really got to know him. He was up in Big Bear
Cool
with
guy.
us. He came to spar with us in Riverside, bro. Cool ass dude, bro. Real cool dude. His name is Bolo. That's his nickname.
Yeah.
I always call him Damien by his name.
Damn.
He goes, Coach, you're the only one who calls me fucking Damien. I did it this even to
And
this
whatever
day.
happened, I know Chris says he still speaks to him. Whatever happened to whatever became of
Bro,
him?
he won. You're gonna trip out on this. He won $1 million on a lotto
Oh,
scratcher.
that's what Henry
Yeah,
told me.
bro. Yeah, he won it. And I remember fucking Dan told me. Dan called me one day and he goes, "Hey, Hen, how's it going, Daddy-o?" Daddy goes, "What's up, Dan? Remember Bolo Wills?" I go, "Yeah, Dan, I speak to him all the time." He goes, he won $1 million on a scratcher. I go, "Oh, that
Can
lucky
you believe it?
motherfucker, bro." So I would call him Lotto Stud.
Lotto
Lotto
stud.
Stud. I think he bought a house. I think he bought a house in Vegas, bro.
Wow.
If I remember, he bought but I haven't talked to him in a little while, but he was cool. Super cool dude,
What's
bro.
the craziest moments you gone through with
Chris?
from Josesito to Chris
Um,
that you say, fuck, man, this? Because I know you parted ways as well with
right.
Chris, but before you guys parted ways, what thing led to you
Uh,
to for you guys to leave
well, I
for
don't even,
the
I mean,
separation?
I don't even really think we parted ways because when he was over here, he was fucking calling me, "Hey, this," like, he had asked me one time, like, maybe on the next fight, you'd come and stay with me. And then I go, "Nah, I don't know if it's going to work. Joe's used to running his things his way. I'm used to running. So, like,
Everybody has a
I'm going to be
program.
there at your fight, bro. Don't worry, I'm going to be there. Fight week, we'll take care of whatever we got to take care of." But Chris and I have never fallen on bad terms.
Yeah.
We talk daily, almost daily. Sends me fucking nonstop shit on the Instagram. I'm like, bro, when you go do something, find something to do with yourself.
What about your crew? I have to stop you here because I forget about your crew. You got
Joey, Bobby, Chris's boys, right?
Friendly Bobby.
Bobby's doing good. He came to our show last week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How's he doing,
he's
bro?
doing good. He's doing good. He trimmed down a little bit. He's doing
Oh,
good.
did he?
Yeah, yeah.
You still managing big hotels or work?
He's doing something with that. I think he got promoted doing something. He's doing well though. Yeah. And then his cousin Joey, Chris's boy, this fucking guy hits me up, bro. Right? He goes, "Hey, I need 15 tickets for your show." I text Bobby. I go, look at this idiot." He goes, "Does he even know 15 people?" So, yeah, no, they're doing good.
Then you have another set of brothers. They all look alike, almost look alike.
What?
Um, they're fucking cool people, man.
The ones from West Coast, you talking about?
Yes.
Mush, Alex,
Mush,
Eli,
yes, there
good
you go.
dudes, bro.
Yes.
Hey, we ended up using one as security. They showed up. I ended up putting them to work, bro. One was serving beer, like, bro. I'm telling
They're the
you,
coolest people,
they're
bro.
good people, bro.
Very cool.
Those guys are good
They're very
people.
successful as well.
They're good
Yeah.
dudes. Good.
Yeah.
Remember they used to do the Enraged? Remember they were doing the Enraged?
Yeah, because they sponsor John Molina
John
Jr.
Molina. Yeah. They know John. Good dudes, bro. Good dudes. I hang out with them quite a bit.
So going back
to Chris.
Yeah.
So, man, there were times I'd ask myself, like, you know what? I was like, let's see on the Klitschko fight. We got the Klitschko fight. And there was a whole, Chris would fight, bro, and he would kind of balloon up, right? And I remember we fight Jamil McClain in Vegas, Mandalay Bay, and Dan thought this was the funniest shit. When you get to Vegas, bro, he's 248. I kind of like Chris 245, 47 because, bro, when he get a little light, I thought sometimes maybe his punch resistance wasn't the same, right? So we get to Vegas, he was like 248. and he weighed 255. I thought, wait, what the fuck happened?
Damn.
And one of the reporters asked Chris, hey, I thought you were 248. Why were we? He goes, Vegas food is delicious.
Fucking Chris. Fucking Chris.
So, and obviously he won, so everybody was busting up,
Yeah.
So we get the Klitschko fight, and it was funny, bro. So all week we're at fucking Vegas Monday for a Saturday fight, bro. So
No, but
and
tell us a little bit more before that you get to the Vegas, because I know you were doing training camp here at my gym.
okay,
And
so this is before that though. This is Jamil McClain fight,
oh,
right?
okay. Oh, I thought you were
So
talking
I'm
about.
in Vegas. I run into this dude in the elevator. Kind of, I was drinking a little bit. He's drinking, nods to me. I remember we seen him at the press conference, and Dan Birmingham's like, "You want a good conditioning coach? You want to get your fighter in shape? This is the man." He's talking about Daryl Hudson, right?
Oh, I love Daryl.
Daryl's a good
Yeah,
fucking dude,
Daryl and
bro.
his brother BB.
BB. So I'm like, man, you know what? Me and Chris look at each other like, yeah, maybe we'll talk to this guy. So end up talking to him throughout the week, bro. We thought he was from Florida because we're Wiki, right?
Yeah.
Fucking lived 10 minutes from me.
Yeah,
I'm
he
like,
lives
what?
in
He was living in Ontario,
yeah,
bro. From like where he lived from my house, bro. Literally
10
10
minutes.
minutes, 12
Good.
minutes. So we end up exchanging numbers. We go to the Yard House, have dinner. Me, him, and Chris.
You love the Yard House, huh?
Yeah, I love the Yard House, bro. And we end up chopping it up, and I said, "We're gonna hire you." So we hired him for the Klitschko fight. So he moves in, bro. We moved into the Oakwood. Remember the
Yeah,
Oakwood?
right here on
So
Woodman.
we ended up moving into the ones down the street for Universal.
Oh wow, okay, over
Right,
there.
right. So Daryl lives with us. Daryl and I in one apartment. Chris another apartment. We had another one for sparring partners. We train here at your gym. And I'm like, all right, Chris, we're gonna be leaving at this time. Every day was like a fucking pain to get him. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on. We got sparring. We're like waiting on him. This, that. And Daryl's like, fuck, man. Like, Daryl asked me, like, how did you guys get this far? because, because Chris was like, once we got him to the gym, he was fine,
went.
but it was getting him. And he'll
Yeah.
tell you, it was getting him there. So
What do you think he was like that, Henry? Why? Because I know he hated running as
he
well.
hated
As he
running.
said.
So check this out. You're going to laugh at this. So we're at LA Valley College, and we got Chris doing sprint drills. And it's the summer, bro. So the football team had just went inside.
Uh-huh.
We got Chris doing like 15-yard sprints back and forth, back and forth. Some dude walks up to Daryl, and because he's seen Chris running, and Chris bro's probably 280, bro, 285. He goes, "Hey, are you the defensive line coach?" Chris goes,
Oh, that's
Chris
hilarious.
goes, what did he ask for? Like, he asked if Daryl was the defensive line coach. He's like, fuck him. So
Oh,
we're like,
okay.
nah, bro, they just went into the weight room. 'Cause
That's
they were
hilarious.
all out there. We're out now. He just went into the weight room. So we get the Klitschko fight. But there's a story behind that Chris kind of told you, but he left out. So Chris was supposed to fight Oleg Maskayev, October 3rd, HBO, StubHub, right? David Hay was fighting Klitschko September 12th in Germany.
Yeah.
David Hay pulls out, and Dan's calling me. Al's calling me. They're like, hey, can Chris be ready for September 12th? I said, nope. I said, he barely started training. He's heavy. I said, he beat Jamil McClain in April. And fuck, I didn't see him for a couple months, bro.
Shit.
He had made, I think,
Good
he,
job.
he made, well over $500,000 for that fight.
Shit.
So he had, he was doing his thing. And so we get the call, and I said, look, Dan, you had us October 3rd. Any part of early September, forget about it. If you could get it as close to that date as you can, then it's possible. Because Chris was fighting Oleg Maskayev October 3rd. They end up making it September 26th. There was a couple. The reason why is because HBO and RTL, which was the German network, needed to see, they needed to align. There was a lot. So we settled on September 26th. We start training here, I think around August 4th, 5th. But he was heavy, bro. He's about 290. You know what I mean? He worked hard. I mean, he put the work in, but we just lost Klitschko. You know what I mean? There's no shit.
Yeah, because I remember I go, Henry, where's Chris? Vroom, gone. Every day
bro,
gone.
bro.
Fucking Chris.
And then out here, it's like home, bro. It was fucking hot, miserable in the
I
gym.
love it,
When we were
man.
running, I mean,
You hate the hot, right?
I like the springtime more, bro. When I was younger, I used to love the summer, but now,
Bro, I turn on the heat on the summer, spring, and everything, bro. If
right,
if I have a fighter, not that it's just it feels good to be on
right.
the heat, you know.
So we go to the Klitschko fight, bro, and no, we lose, and yeah, I got the best story. So we're in the dressing room, bro, after the fight, and him and Craig Goosen had a bet. You know how Craig, real hairy, right? The bet was that if Chris beat Klitschko, he was gonna shave Craig's chest, fucking arms, you
Yeah,
name
yeah,
it, right? So Craig's like, "Fuck, I dodged the bullet, bro." Right? We're in the dressing room, and after, Chris had broke down, and he broke down because I stopped the fight.
yeah.
Um, and people, I remember getting so many messages on MySpace back then, like, "How dare you? You embarrassed the Mexican, bro!" Like,
Yeah.
and people asked me, "Why did you stop the fight?" And I said, "Did you not watch the
Watch the
first 10
fucking Eagles
rounds?
games. Yeah,
Did you not watch?" Not only that, Chris was 28 years old. There was still
time
he
for the
still
finish.
had
Yeah,
time for him to come back. There was time for him. So, I tell people when you stop a fight, a lot of factors go in, Ricky. One, um, your fighter's future. Two, how bad was your hurt? Three, likelihood of scoring a
yeah,
knockout. None. Kutcho never been dropped ever,
yeah.
ever. So there was. I felt 100% secure in the decision I made. He was pissed off initially, but he understood. You know who was pissed off, bro?
Mm.
His wife and daughter, his ex-wife or
They were
daughter.
pissed.
They were pissed at me, bro. Why did you stop the fight? Like, what the even to this
You
day?
didn't watch the fight
Bro,
either.
I'm like, damn. I go, do you have a life insurance policy you were trying to collect on? so, so we ended up stopping the fight, bro. We go to the dressing room, right? And Chris is Chris, bro. He's making jokes, and
Yeah,
we did the post-fight press conference. And Ricky, we had, I want to say, about 300 people waiting on us across the street, bro.
really.
Yeah, and we get back in the van, going back to the hotel, to the Wilshire Grand, whatever it was. And Chris says, "Fuck that, make a left right here." They made a left at the yard house, bro. He goes, "Fuck that, we're going to the party." Well, he hadn't been able to give a urine sample yet, bro.
And they're
So,
following you
so
guys.
the inspector's in the van with us, right? And I'm not gonna leave his name out. I don't think he works at the commission anymore. But this is where the
Chair
story.
was it chair?
No, this is where the story gets funny, bro. We go into the club, and the guy goes, "Hey, I can't leave till I get a sample." And Chris like, "Fuck it, you're coming with us, bro." So he's in the club with us, bro.
Damn.
Bottles, bro. That we got 300, bro. You would have thought we won the way this guy's
Yeah,
partying. He's
yeah,
like, "Fuck it," he's letting
yeah.
loose, right? Dude's like, "Hey, is he ready yet?" Nope. Bro, finally after midnight, Chris goes, "All right, I could go piss." So we do the urine sample that's in the restroom of the club. People looking at us like, "What the fuck are you guys doing, bro?"
That's so.
Signing the thing.
That's fucking
People in the
funny.
club like, "What?" They're like,
Damn.
"Hey, didn't you fight tonight, people?" The commissioner, is in his suit and
Yeah,
everything,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. That's funny.
Sign, separating. Okay,
That's a fuck,
and this is probably about 12:30 past midnight, bro. Fucking
man.
hilarious, bro.
Chris is so that now I remember Chris. I know Chris is already. Well, I think he's gonna about to retire.
Right.
I know you assisted Wally Jonathan
That's
as you were an assistant
your
coach there.
boss, fucker.
So how do you see Chris still has a shot to become at least one more big fight, huge fight?
Possibly, but look. So I got an offer for him to fight in the bare knuckle,
Yeah, you told me that.
and he turned it down. And the guy who's running is Nelson Lopez. He was in boxing also. So he
How do
said
they approve that? I'm just curious. How do they approve that?
California just sanctioned it.
Wow.
So I mean, bro, Andy Foster called me himself. There's a guy in my gym. He's
I like Andy.
He goes, "Henry, I think there's a guy in your gym that would be, how it's actually." He goes, "I think," and he's talking about Rowdy Montgomery. And Rowdy's like, I want to do it. I told him, but bro, they're not offering you the number they offer Chris, bro. They offered me a number for Chris, then they doubled it. I was like, damn, they really wanted him for their first show, April 27th. And he just said he wasn't interested. He just said it was 5 2-minute rounds. And the only thing you tape is like your wrist. That's it. Other than that, it's
It's
full
just your
on.
knuckles.
Yep. And so we'll see. We'll see what's gonna. He's 43 though. You got to
Yeah.
be. You would have to be careful how you match him. Especially at this point.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm not sure.
So what accomplishments, Henry, you got going on right now? What is something you as a trainer want to accomplish, and what do you want to see?
Why I have a bunch of guys who are on the doorstep of getting a fight. Nelson Oliva, 10-0. Louis Lopez, 15-2. Richard Brewer, 12-1. He just made a comeback and had a technical decision because he got cut. Got a kid, AJ Saldivar, who's 5-0, pretty good, 6'2" lefty. I got another heavyweight I've had since he was 16 years old.
What?
He's like 32 now, like 10-0, but he been in and out. He been messing. Chris knows him. Chris has sparred with him since he was a kid. And then my amateur program, bro. My amateur program is constantly growing. We're constantly getting kids, bro.
From the neighborhood and all that.
Just from other gyms too that want to make a change. And I'll be honest, a lot of kids come in. They like, man, I want to be like that. Who do they point to? Pal. They point to him, bro.
Our future right there. That's,
our future.
Hey, that's our future right there.
Hey, bro, there's a couple things you didn't hit on though that we're talking about.
Oh, tell me. I wanna. If I missed something, tell me.
You wanted to talk about that.
Oh yeah. I was gonna tell you. So I remember, bro, and this is talking about my boy Diego Corrales.
Right.
I still remember. I had turned pro in September of 2005.
Right.
2005, right? Was it?
This fight was in 04, 05, I remember.
No. I fought Bogarina. You're one of your fighters.
Right.
But I turned pro. I think it was 2004.
So
I'll tell you. I want to tell you because I want to get to your point. So we're fighting your fighter, Alex Borgarin. And I have Diego Corrales, and I said, "Fuck, man, no one could stop me."
Yeah.
I already knocked out my opponent in 18 seconds.
Right.
But something always,
Right.
in my body, I go in and we walk in. Diego Corrales behind me.
I remember you guys walking in, bro. Like that.
I go, fuck, I'm gonna fuck that fool up. So I go into the ring, and I say, all right, cool. Bing. I go out first round, and boom, second round, I go sit down. I go, fuck, why do I feel tired? As soon as I get in the ropes, I go, I'm just gonna let him get tired. Bam, I'm in the ropes. They stop the fight. So
Bro,
tell me, oh man,
so that fight. Okay, so Alex Bograin, he comes to our gym. He was 0-2. He had been knocked out twice, but he could fight, bro. Right? So I remember whatever year it was the day before Thanksgiving. It was that Wednesday. Gym was fucking empty. We're at the Lincoln gym, right?
Oh, yeah,
in Riverside, public gym, and gym was empty, bro. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna leave. Nobody's here. And I'm about to leave, and he walks in. He goes, hey, that's the way he talks. Hey, man, I wanted to talk to you and Andy. That's how he talks. Like, oh, what's up? I go, you train in Fontana? I know you are, Bogarin. He goes, yeah. He goes, yeah. Well, I want to make a change. I'm gonna leave that gym. I said, all right, well, Andy's gone, bro. He ain't gonna be back probably till Monday. All right, well, yeah, I go, I'll let him know, though, that you came by and we'll come back and we'll talk to you. I go, just out of curiosity, what weight are you fighting at? He goes, well, that's the thing. They had me fighting like 63, 64. I was like, I don't know, bro. You look more like a 50, 52.
yeah.
So he's fighting guys that are a little bit bigger than him, right? So we get him a fight, bro. We train him. We get him his first fight with us is against you. But the first fight didn't happen. This is the story you don't know. They offered me the fight, bro, for you and him to fight in Vegas on the Jamil McCline James Toney fight.
Yes, I remember.
Well, James Toney tore his Achilles, right? We were there when it happened at Wildcard, bro, because I'm there with Chris sparring James Toney. And he's sparring, I don't know if he was sparring Preston Hartzog, this white kid that Jesse Reed was working with from Louisiana. But we had been going to Wildcard to spar with James Toney a little bit and Javier Mora and whoever else, right? And we're there and fucking Toney fucking ruptures his Achilles. Yeah. So in my head, I'm like, fuck, there goes Bogarin's fight too, right?
Fuck.
So I don't remember how much longer it was, but I get the call and they offered me the same fight but here at the was it Burbank
At
Hilton
the
or
Burbank
Marriott?
Hilton.
So I'm like, oh man, it's
Okay,
hood.
Manny
Manny
Cota.
Cota's the show. So I'm like, all right. We ended up doing the fight, and I remember you walking out with fucking Diego, Joe Goosen. I'm
Yeah,
like,
fucking host,
oh
the
man,
whole.
everybody, bro. And then so we win the fight, and I remember years ago we kept bringing this up
I
years
bring it
later,
all the time,
bro.
and even no, Tom Brown's been someone else, but yeah, every time I speak to you, Bogarin, motherfucker, man.
He's
Fuck.
training his kids. He
Is
lives
it really?
yeah, he trains out there.
And you seen Jim at
He'll
Jojo?
call no in like Colton. He'll call me like, and it's funny because he'll always call me like, hey bro, it's Bogarin. I go, oh, what's up? He goes, I'm not bugging you. I go, nah, bro, you fought for it. We got some history, bro. Like, don't ever feel
Yeah.
like you bugging me around too busy. Nah, bro. And then he brings his sons to spar.
Oh,
once in
really?
a while.
Is it
Yeah,
good?
yeah, good little
Yeah.
kids. Like 15 years old, 14 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not bad. But him and I will talk about it. I go, hey
Did
man.
did you tell him?
Yeah, I go,
Yeah.
hey, that was the highlight. Because bro, after that he won like he was 0-2. We got him to like 5-2-2 or something like that.
Oh,
Then he
yeah?
lost. Then he left, and then good dude though, man.
Yeah,
Nice,
yeah.
nice dude. Like guys come and go. You know, this kind of goes back to my thing, Ricky, about look, not everybody's gonna be a star, bro. Like, and look, we get guys who come to the gym, bro, and if say they don't have the greatest record and they want an opportunity, if they
Yeah.
show up and work hard, bro, I'll give them an opportunity. We'll
Yeah.
try to get them some fights, try to correct whatever's wrong with
Yeah.
them, and then try to guide their career. We had this guy who came to us, and recently he's 0-2, and he walks into my gym. I didn't know he was a fighter. Real quiet kid, and he tells me, "Yeah, I'm a pro," and I'm like, "All right." And I go, "How many amateurs fight?" He goes, "One." I said, "What the fuck?" I go, I mean, unless you're some super talented guy, why the fuck would someone turn you pro in one fight? Because Ricky, I can't undo that. Like, you come to my gym, I can't say, "Hey, can we get a restart?"
Yeah.
You got to work what you got. You got to work what you got. And we ended up getting some fights, and the kid, he's won a few, lost a few. Tough kid, he's getting
Yeah.
better, but you got to give a guy a chance. Guy works hard.
It's hard, Henry.
It is hard.
It's
It is
really
hard.
hard because I get calls all the time. I'm not look.
Right.
I'm still trying to make a
Right.
name for myself in boxing. I'm not. I have not accomplished what like Henry has
But
accomplished.
I'm
Yeah.
still.
But
trying-
you
yeah,
accomplished
right.
a lot more, and people say, "Well, you picky." I think I have to be Henry in a way because I carry myself with a persona. Like
Right.
I've been with Joe around
Right.
Joe since I was 13 years old,
Right.
and I seen other coaches that get guys as an opponent, and I don't want to be
Right.
known as a coach that he has only opponents.
Right.
I want to, God willing, with my fighter that
Right.
hopefully
Right.
he becomes world champion. But the thing is, I just don't want to get a guy that has one win and 10 losses
No, of
and trying to
course.
work. It's
No, of
hard.
course. It
I'm not
is.
saying that I think I'm a badass coach. I don't think I'm the shit. It's just I'm trying to say
You're
that
trying to.
I don't want to blemish my name
Right.
because Ricky, yeah, he was opponents.
See, I told one of my guys, I go, I'm never gonna get judged for an opponent. You're gonna get judged more for a prospect. If someone comes
Correct.
to your gym and they're kind of known as opponent, and you get to some fight, you're not really gonna get judged on it. It's more so developing a prospect or getting a guy to that top level. Um, the next fighter I'll be judged on will be Pal by everybody.
Yeah.
And when people get a look at Nelson,
Us.
Louis Lopez, AJ Saldivar, Richard Burr, we got some good.
Yeah, because you
That's some good
yeah,
kids.
Nelson was part of my
Yeah, he was at your game.
and then you were outside fucking
Yeah,
passing out.
you know what's crazy?
Hey, Henry was passing out his business cards here
You know what's
fucking
crazy?
from San Bernardino, passing your business cards here. Okay, guy.
Well, where are we at? Pacoima, right? Pacoima. We're in the heart of Pacoima, guys. Ricky's gym is not in
It's
Van
not-
Nuys. It's in
they move.
Pacoima.
It moves. Go ahead, tell me.
I know he was here. Then he ended up with John Pullman, right?
Yeah.
And a few years ago, Pullman calls me and goes, "Hey Henry, I have a guy moving out. Fighter of mine, moving out to Fontana. Is that near you? Yeah, like 20 minutes." So he sends me. He goes, "Oh, this kid," and then I was, like, fuck, I know this guy. He knocked out one of our guys.
That was just tough, man. Tough
And then,
southpaw.
yeah. So we start working with them a little bit. I said, hey, why aren't you pro? And he goes, I don't think I'm ready. I was like,
Hmm.
well, let me be honest with you. You are, and I wouldn't tell you are if you weren't.
Yeah.
So I think there was a little doubt, self-doubt. We turned him pro, and he was working a full-time job still, and he injured his hand, bro. So he was out for a year.
Wow.
And now he's 10-0. He's fighting on Saturday, hopefully 11-0.
Right.
But he's hardworking,
good.
very humble.
See, that's what you
respectful.
want as a trainer. You want that
Yep.
because you feed off of that.
Yep.
You know, if you're gonna have a guy that you come in and he's slacking off,
Right.
you don't want to.
Bro, so you know what his ritual is after the fight, right? He goes and runs the mountain the next morning. He'll be like, the next morning he's posting running 8 miles. Like, dude, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You just fought. Like,
But that tells you.
You don't want to take that away
Yeah.
from him.
Anything else, Henry? We need to talk to man?
What else we got to talk about?
What
bro?
are we missing?
Fuck you.
What are we? Oh fuck! I forgot my connection. So years ago, I meet a friend, and her name is Sochi. She's a good friend of mine. We haven't spoken in years, but she was my connection at the Nike store, and I get we had a fight somewhere in Saboba, I think, or Fantasy Springs.
Fantasy Springs.
We had some fights in Fantasy Springs, and I go, come chill with it. It was
Chris Fawcett Mitchell.
Yes, Chris was there, your whole crew.
Yeah.
And guess what happened? My friend Sochi ends up meeting this fucking guy.
Bro,
they hit it off. I have to tell my story.
Right.
They hit it off, and then I'm calling my friend Sochi. She don't answer. And she don't answer, and I go, "Oh, hey, I'm here with your friend, Henry." I go, "Hey, can y'all order some shoes? I want to try." Henry told me he can't order the fucking shoes. I go, "This motherfucker, you cock blocked me on my Nike connection, bro." And every time I would see Henry, Nike, look, fucking Nike.
Well, I'm not with her anymore, but so I ended up meeting her at I guess. You had taken her to when Josesito fought Maidana, and all my buddies had met her. So I didn't know who she was, right?
Yeah.
I'd never met her. And I actually left for that summer. We were in Phoenix because Chris was fighting Seth Mitchell, and I remember telling Al, you know what? If we're going to do this fight, he needs to get away from home. So we go to Phoenix, Ricky, July 7th to Labor Day weekend. We're there all summer, bro.
Really?
And this was a fight where Chris was really motivated, bro. We trained hard. We ended up fighting Fantasy Springs. And I met her, I think the day of the weigh-in, whatever. She came with Bobby and the boys, right? Met her, hit it off with her. And we ended up doing this long-distance relationship for like 4 years, right? And I would tell her, like, hey, you could call Ricky. Like, and Ricky would tell me, man, Henry cut on my Nike connection.
Yeah. Man, Henry, that was my connection, man.
Bro, so she works at corporate Nike. I haven't spoken to her probably a couple of years. I haven't seen her.
But she was very lovable with
your great girl, bro. Wonderful person.
Yeah.
Great human being. Nothing bad to say. Just didn't work out.
But you traveling. Henry, look, brother, it was an honor having you here, man. We could continue talking everybody.
I would definitely like to come back. Ricky's funny.
Oh.
I wish you well, success with this.
Thank you, bro.
It's a nice little studio you put together,
bro.
man.
Henry, where fans, if they want to follow you?
If you want to follow me, the best place would be the Yard House in Riverside.
Actually, you should get sponsored by fucking the Yard House, bro.
I was just there last night, bro. That's my spot. I love the Yard House. Social media, Facebook, Henry Ramirez. Instagram, Riverside Boxing. And Twitter is H Ramirez Boxing. I'm active on Instagram and Twitter pretty much daily. Facebook not as often but yeah, I still am though.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Henry, for coming, man. I greatly appreciate it, brother.
Oh, thank you, man.
Oh man. Henry.